How's it? Sean from Fitz. Today we're going to do the basic flight tutorial. And we're going to do all those. I'm going to do a video on all the tutorials just to basically get people used to the game and how so that people can play it, and myself too, because I'm also rusty with the game. I'm not rusty. I don't know how to play it. I'm not a great player. So I want to learn how to play command modern operations. So the most important way, the way to do it, is to do all the tutorials. And there's hundreds of tutorials here. So we're going to learn together. I know a little bit about it. I know a little bit about how the game works, but I'm not really good at the game. And I want to learn, because I got that silent service video there. Campaign there, and I want to learn how to play it. I want to play that campaign. So I've decided let's learn it. We'll start from the first tutorial for basics. We'll go to multi-plane. If you watch my mouse, we'll go down to the strike tutorials. We'll do all the submarine tutorials. We'll do all the other. So there's a bit to do. Okay, there's a bit to do, but I'm ready. If you're ready, I'm ready. Okay. Difficulty, complexity, not too high, 2018. Welcome to the basic manual flight tutorial. This is the first in a series of tutorials designed to teach players the fundamentals of air operations in command. In this tutorial, the following topics will be covered: preparing an aircraft for launch, launching an aircraft, flying manually the plane and returning to the airbase. Simple, eh? Pop-ups will appear with important messages during the scenario. You can find a PDF of them in the documents folder that comes with these tutorials. The default location is that C whatever. We're not going to use the documents. I've taken this off window where I put it as full screen the game, because it's able to get all the details in it. When you have it at window, it cuts off some of the details. So we're not going to use the tutorial. We're going to just play from this. For Steam users, it's located in there, and this is created by Sir Andrew. Okay, let's load it. First tutorial, basic manual flight. Okay, welcome to the basic manual flight tutorial. In this scenario, you'll be guided through the following topics: preparing an aircraft for launch, launching an aircraft, flying manually the plane, returning to the airbase. Pop-ups will appear. I think he's just repeating what was said earlier. Let's enter the tutorial. Okay, so these are the options that are enabled for the tutorial. We can just begin the scenario. Okay. Now I've turned the music down. I hope it's not too loud. I really hope it's not too loud, because that thing can be, but I love the music. That's why I keep it in the background. And I've also enabled the Sentinel-2 satellite maps. This adds so much. I know it's hard on the system, but it adds a lot of realism in it. It makes the maps look beautiful, like in the Middle East. I mean, I love that. Okay, so good morning. Let's just see what those guys have to say. Today you will impersonate the commander of Ramat David Air Base in northern Israel, and you'll learn how to use your air assets. You have six F-16. I think that's Al Safa 2 Gulfstream G55 AEW Nashorn under your command. All right. Press space to start the simulation, then select the Ramat David Air Base. Press F6 and bring up the Air Ops window. You can also open this by clicking on the aircraft in the unit status panel and the right side of the screen. So basically, if we press close, to resume, then it's still going on, and we pick the Ramat. Okay, and we press F6. Then we got our planes. All right, let's just wait for him. I've done these tutorials before. Some of them I've done up to the combat tutorial, just about 2 or 3 tutorials in. So I'm rusty with this. I did those tutorials a long time, so I know that with the tutorials, this is how these tutorials are. You wait a bit, you enter this. Yeah, you've got to make sure that's going. See that pause button at the top, and then he goes away, and he comes back with some more messages. You could always pick him up here, but it's tricky, so you gotta watch the stab stuff. Okay, now you can see two pilots have the AIM-120 long-range air-to-air missile and Light 202. So let's just check that. There's the two, boom, Light 202. There's the two Safas. These are the F-16s. Light 202 loadout. Two have the Python short medium range air-to-air missile, Light 04. So there's the Light 04. One's orange, but there's the Light 04. And the last two have the AGM HARM anti-radiation missile and the Spice 2000 air-to-ground glide bomb loadout. 4 16s are ready to take, F-16s are ready to take off, while the other two are being armed. Okay, hang on. Okay, so yeah, they're ready. These two, so these orange represent being armed. These are ready, but these, okay, so I understand that. To be armed. Okay, let's just move this slowly down. The aircraft with the air-to-air loadouts also have the quick turnaround selected. This means that they can complete multiple sorties with a reduced ready time between them. Okay, an aircraft with an AAM, let's say, loadout will take 3 hours to be ready during surge operations. See Safa 4. Okay, so he's on a surge operation. So he will take 3 hours on a surge. Or 20 during a sustained operations, but with a quick turnaround is selected, you'll have to wait 20 minutes after the first sortie. So sustained operations take 20 hours. But when the quick turnaround is selected, you will have to wait only 20 minutes for the first sortie. Okay, so if you select it makes it faster. Okay, surge operations, sustained operations, and quick turnaround times are doctrine settings that can be changed in the side window, control F9. He's talking about however, the scenario designer will often lock these settings. This is done by the editor by unchecking the box near each doctrine setting, preventing the player from changing them, as the doctrine usually doesn't change throughout a scenario. This game is off the charts. You gotta read everything and be careful everything. You can easily get lost out of here. You can easily lose your way here if you don't follow the stuff directly. It's a good way to keep you disciplined. See here, I was talking about this here, the doctrine settings. I mean, if you look at the doctrine settings, I mean, and each plane and each place has got different doctrine settings. So the game is super complicated. I don't know if it's complicated, but it's super detailed. Okay, the two G55 AEW instead are in reserve status. You will need to prepare them to act as an airborne radar. Okay, click on one of them and then click the ready button. Select the loadout in the new window. Conformal aerial early warning is the only one available other than the ferry reserve and maintenance flying, and click OK to be ready. Okay, so he says here, he's talking about these two buggers. See, you just gotta, you don't want to lose your message thing. You see. Okay, so that one, he said ready arm, and he said pick conformal, and he said and say ready. See, now 3 hours to be ready. What else did he say here? In a few hours, the Narsons will take off. Okay, we'll see. I assume he's meaning both of them. I know he just says the one. Okay, so we ready arm them. We pick up. You see, he's super detailed, Super detailed. This is used by military planners. There's a professional version of this game. Okay, so we're ready to take off. Now he's basically finished. We did everything he told us to do, Yeah, okay, so we can close and resume. let's close that. He's basically, he's done everything. We've done everything he told us to do. You can get super lost in these tutorials. I've played, I think I've done about, like I said earlier, about 3 tutorials. Super lost in them. If you don't follow them correctly, you can, like, where's the O? Where did he go? Where's the details? And those messages disappear. You have to go find them here in the log. And it's not too difficult because you got them, but still, you don't want to, you know, everything's in reading and writing. A lot of reading. All right, let's just see. Now he's going to, why is he? Okay, yeah. Now it's time to take an aircraft on patrol. Select one of your ready F-16s, click on the launch individually, and it'll take off. After a few minutes, it'll be in the air. Okay, so F6, pick the first one, and launch individually. Okay, so there he's now. Okay. Well, you don't want to go in there, but he's now. Just make sure F6. Okay, so there he is. Oh, hang on. Yeah. And you gotta be careful where you click with this. Okay, there he is. There's the takeoff. Now he's ready to go. There he is. I mean, I think I showed you the detail of these F-16s. I mean, if you look at it. Look at this. Look at the detail in this game for all these F-16s. See all this from United States, all different variants. It's paused now, so it doesn't matter. But all the different variants of the F-16s, all over the world. Look at that. Look at this F-16. It goes on page, and then each F-16 has got general data of it. Look at that. Look at the data. Look at this. Look at this. Look. All the weapon systems. Look, which you can. Look where my mouse with the pages are. Look at all this. Look at all this. This is the detail in this game. You know, there's a professional version of this game, and you know why. I mean, we're sitting with a civilian version. Look at all this. This is all on the F-16 and all specific loadouts, which then you can see for yourself. Yeah. Amazing, eh? Okay, let's just carry on. So now you see him taxing off there. I love this game. I love this game. But it's going to take me forever to learn. So I decided to restart the tutorials. Once you get started, you know, you have to get your feet wet. I found that with Gary Grisby's War in the East too, I kept reading manuals and kept trying to read and avoiding playing the game because it was so daunting. And I promise you, when I stopped reading the manuals and I started like this, playing, getting my feet dirty, the stuff came quickly. I was moving my pieces around. I knew you get into paralysis and analysis where you want to keep reading the manual. You don't know enough. You stay away from the game. Stop reading the manuals. You got to get your feet wet, and this is the only way. You never learn this. I never learn this. I always come to a game and I want to get the manuals. It's fine to read the manuals. But there's a time where you must stop the manuals. The manuals must be put aside because there's nothing you can do. You need to get wet. You can never learn anything unless you do the manuals. Same in real life. You know, you have to perform the thing physically before you know how to. Reading books and manuals doesn't help you do nothing. Okay, I know it's a bit of a tangent. Sorry, man. But, yeah. So all the different weapons, pythons and short to medium range weapons, and this Narsorn with a conformal early warning. I'm just watching it as you can see it come out now. See, it's flying, it's taxiing off the runway. This is super complicated, super detailed. Let's see if it enables it to go out. Now it should launch.
Push tactical.
Okay, there we go.
Negative radar contact.
It's out of the airfield. There it launches. Okay, there we go. Then you can select your software. Okay, so this, I'm going to put this on 2 speed because it can be a... Okay, when the F-16 is taken off, see these things are prompted. You can finally control it. To plot a course, select the aircraft and press F3. And an arrow will appear under your pointer. Click on a point on the map to plot the course. You can then plot another waypoint or press ESC to... So select the course and press F3. Okay, so close and resume. What do you say? F3. Oh no, it's bringing up that. Okay, hang on. Let me just plot it here with this. Yeah, plot the course. What was that? That was F3, eh? Sorry, man. There's plot the course. Okay, so we're gonna go there, and you can click. You can click and for another waypoint, and he says there, and then we press ESC to it. So this plot the course. What was this? I did press F3. Oh, okay. So maybe I just didn't click it properly. Okay. And then you ESC to end. There he is there. You click them. There's the Ramat bus. You want to find out what the F-16 is. And there's, of course, you can highlight this and get all the details of the F-16. You see the loadout here. See all the loadout here and what it's carrying. What particular, I think the green represents what it's now carrying, this loadout. The fuel, the speed, the altitude, the damage taken. You can... I know my head's in the way here. I think I've got my head in the way there, but you can also control it here, max attitude. You can, the weapon systems individually. Sensors, I think you can see that, the sensors that are on there. Comms. Weapon systems, what weapons they're carrying, where they... It's super detailed, man. Super detailed. This thing's not moving. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But you see, you don't want to touch all these buttons. See at the bottom, I don't know if you'll be able to see this with my head. You might be able to see this. You can't see this. But you see here, there's it flying. The total fuel, how much fuel it's got left, all this stuff. I mean, and then the ecom window, the sensors window, you've got the sensors going on here. And then you've got your doctrines at the bottom here. Radar. This is just this one plane, eh? So, I mean, I played Harpoon. I had Harpoon in the 80s. 89 or something, I went and bought that. It was the first Harpoon that came out. And Matrix, and then a few more came out, like from Harpoon. Harpoon 3, Harpoon 2 to Harpoon 3 I never had. And then Matrix, yeah, enhanced the Harpoon versions, and they brought a Commander edition and all that. Still with the same old graphics. And I always wanted it. I never went and bought it. And the first Harpoon that I played that came out wasn't like this. It wasn't anywhere near like this. And it was super complicated at the time. It wasn't like this. All right. This thing is off the charts. This is a steroids, Harpoon on extra steroids. Okay, new message. The aircraft is following the desired path. Now press 2 to change the speed and altitude. Sometimes you will need to be close to the ground to avoid being spotted by enemy radars. Or you'll need to be high above the reach. I don't know what that is. Man pads or whatever. Okay, so what's he say? F2. He says F2. I hope this thing works. Okay, there we go. So here you can manually, and I think at the bottom here you can also manually, this is telling you everything about this plane or this group. I mean, I can manually override it. I can make it afterburner. So now what it's going to do is it's going to fly. I can get it back to cruise. I can change the altitude. See how it's flying there. Look there. This. Look at how evolved the simulation is. Just, hey, thank God I'm alive to experience this. where would you, I'll take the manual off because just now I'll crash the plane, but where in the earth's, in God's earth, green earth, would we ever be able to experience this type of, and you got an editor in here. I mean, I don't even go near the editor, where you can recreate. This is where all these guys made these scenarios, you know, from Steam, all those Steam scenarios. I'll show it to you again. If you haven't watched my video on my Steam library, I'll show it again before I leave out, just to show you the Steam from user-made scenarios. And they've made like 500 of them. And they'll take like Israel here, and they'll make a complex, detailed scenario of the Middle East. I mean, like we got today, you know. I mean, it's just, hey, it's just this guys. You could, I see you could even, I'm just trying it, you can even move these things. And there it's flying, all the information there. It's, in fact, I'm going to change it. Look, let's be honest. It's not difficult to play necessarily, but it'll take a few. I mean, look at all those training scenarios. I mean, most games give you like 4 scenarios to train on. Look at that. There's a whole section of like 20, 30, 40 scenarios to train on. Eh? On the tutorials, just to get you in function, because there's so many bits and pieces. I mean, if you look at, I know I'm going on here, but this is the mission editor. Now this is how you set up missions. I mean, settings, targets. Hey, half the time I don't know what's going on here, and I'm too scared to touch the damn thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not as difficult as I'm saying it is, but you need to practice, you need to play it. You need to get on and play it. Put the manuals aside. Throw the manuals one side and leave them for another day. You're not going back to the manuals. I've read the manuals 100 times here. Not ever going back. Okay, when all the weapons have been spended, okay, he didn't tell me to shoot that. All the fuel is low, bingo, the plane will return to the base automatically. If you wish to return early, press B. Okay, now, there's nothing to shoot here. I don't want to shoot anything, just in case what's this? Okay, let's just, let's bring this thing here. And let's just see. I know I'm messing around here. What's this? Is this a I don't know what this is. Is this an enemy? Can we manually target? I'm just thinking, because I just want to see what auto target. Oh, I've got to select the plane, right? I'm just bugging around just to get. Okay. Will it do that? I know I'm finishing. We'll return. Let's just see. Put the speed up. And you've got to just try stuff, eh? Let's see if he's gonna select anything. Okay, yeah. It's easy. Oh shit. It's not easy, but you can control multiple. Well done. Manually controlling a plane is easy, but how can you control multiple sorties? The next tutorial will focus on the missions. Okay. So we've got, we finished the tutorial. Scoring log. Yeah, we did everything. Okay, it was an easy, simple tutorial. I want to see if I can be this. Let's just see if this thing's gonna land. Is he gonna come? I want to see. If you press B, and now I press 15 to speed it up. Let's see if we can land this plane. Then we'll finish it. Nice introductory tutorial. Next video we'll do do the multiple sorties, which I'm sure is going to ramp up in complexity. Okay, so he's now flying, yeah? Press the space. Let's see, he's going to now. So he comes in and then he lands. All right. I think we've won this. We finished this tutorial. So basically, it's just, if you look at this thing, let me see if I can pick this. Yeah, they were ready already. Just take them, fly them out. You can maneuver with the waypoints. This is basically that simple. Let's look at what's coming. Yeah, let's go to the start, manage start. So next video, air warfare tutorials. The next, that's the basic flight. Now we're gonna do unattended flights. Unattended flight. Then we're gonna do this thing. Can this? Can't. It doesn't expand. This thing. Can this thing expand? Okay, so we're gonna do unattended flight. We're gonna do simple air intercept, realistic detection, challenging interception, model air intercept one. We're gonna finish that. We're gonna do a video on each of those. It's a Steam Workshop got tutorials. I don't know. You'll tell me that's probably just the Steam. Yeah, this is all the Steam. This is all user-made scenarios from Steam that you can play, you can download. And these guys they got big. I know I went through this in but they got. Look at all this. I mean. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go through we'll do the flight tutorials, which is quite a bit. We'll do the multi-strike planner tutorials. We'll do some strike tutorials. These are obviously the ships. Yeah, new players. We're gonna learn. Then the electronic warfare tutorial. Then the history of air combat. We're gonna play that. Then we're gonna do other tutorials, which is also quite a bit. Then we're going to do the submarine tutorials. How to use the submarines. What do we do? This is then some more surface tutorials. So, and then Uncle Mark's tutorials. Uncle Mark's. Okay. So you see what I'm saying with the tutorials? There's so many tutorials in this game. It's so complicated. So many tutorials in this game. All right. I think that's it for the first tutorial. I think we got off to a good start. All right. Sean from Fitz. Good day on you.